Hey, good morning, America. Evening, Asia. Hello, world. Yes, we made it to the end of the week. Boy, but again, very busy day, because we've got the chairman of the US Central Bank, the Federal Reserve, has the opportunity in just under half an hour's time to hit back at criticism of rate hikes by President Trump. Will he or won't he? I don't know. We'll find out. Hey, Jerome Powell, he was appointed by President Trump. He'll be speaking at the annual gathering of the international central bankers at Jackson Hole in wonderful Wyoming. Now, you may remember earlier this week, the president said that he was not thrilled with the Fed's 7 rate hikes since 2015, taking that main interest rate, the benchmark there, you can see it, 2%. Now, 2 more rate increases. They're widely expected this year, with the minutes of the last central bank meeting pointing to a hike in September and one possibly in December. Now, why we're also looking at consumer inflation. It's at 2.9%. That's the highest level in some 6 years. Jerome Powell is said to have privately promised independence from political interference. Now the markets will be scrutinising every word for any hint of him changing his tune. Okay, bam. Let's get rid of that. Hey, as promised, let's go straight over to New York. Ed Stringham is waiting in the wings, president of the American Institute for Economic Research, also an economics professor at Trinity College in Connecticut, and becoming a familiar face on my show. Ed, good to see you. Hey, Ed.
Hey, nice to see you, Aaron.
Ed, you say the Fed is supposed to be independent. Are you seriously telling me the president can sway the mind of the big boss at the central bank?
Well, you know, we've got this idea, they're up on this pedestal, they're beyond reproach, and this has been peddled for a long time, but they're clearly appointed by politicians, and at the end of the day, they do have to think about, are they going to get reappointed? So I think that it's actually a myth that these people are independent from politicians.
Okay, so where do you think? Well, so what do you think? Will Jerome Powell stick to his plans? Because you can't. You got to be careful with the markets. You don't want to upset them. You can't change too quickly.
I know. Yeah, for sure. I don't think he's actually going to get into a public sparring match with the president. But it is funny that the president was criticizing Yellen a few years ago when he was a candidate. He said, Yellen, she's in the pocket of Obama. She's having lower interest rates, so it looks as if the stock markets are really high. And now we have an artificial stock market. And I thought that was actually a good argument a couple years ago. And now he's completely changed his tune. And he's like, hey, we need to have this with low interest rates so you can help me. Come on, Powell.
Yeah, no, because that completely baffled me as well. I mean, he's clearly not a fan of higher interest rates. He doesn't want higher cost of borrowing on his watch. But, Ed, since we've got a global audience watching at the moment, some people sitting wherever they may be sitting and watching, hopefully they are, they're going, well, interest rates in America, why do I care? But just explain to viewers around the world, any change in interest rate in the world's biggest economy has an impact around the globe.
Oh, for sure, yeah. The cost of borrowing is determined internationally. So what's going on in the United States and any other country is going to be affected. We've had a period of very low interest rates. I'll argue artificially low interest rates. A lot of my friends say it's because of hidden inflation. And once that inflation starts showing up, the interest rates are actually going to start increasing. And I think that's what we're seeing now. The difficulty is we don't actually know what's going on in Powell's mind. And so we always have to be guessing, peering, mind reading. And that's why everybody's watching what's going on in Jackson Hole.
Yeah. Hey, while I've got you, what goes on there? For the uninitiated, every year it's in Jackson Hole. What goes on there, do you reckon?
Yeah, so it started out as like a research conference, kind of like almost an academic conference for Federal Reserve economists. It turns out it's the most beautiful place for people to hang out, and more people started showing up, and it's actually become almost like a paparazzi style event where people are figuring out, oh, is Britney Spears, Paris Hilton over there of the central bank world. So the media shows up and like, what are you guys doing in there? And it's gone from a series of basically research presentations to people trying to read the tea leaves to figure out what are these people actually thinking? What policies might they implement? Because these policies affect everybody, the cost of borrowing, inflation, and everything.
Yeah, indeed. Paris Hilton and Britney Spears. Ed, you're showing your age. Hey, Ed Stringham, have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon. I mean, are they even around anymore? Yes,